Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing the long-awaited get to know us. And so for those of you who don't know us, this is my husband Russ. Or do you want
guys.
Ruslan.
I'm Russ.
His name is Ruslan, but he goes by Russ. How old are you? Just kidding.
I am 35 years old. I was born in Ukraine. Grew up on the East Coast, Philadelphia. Go Eagles.
Oh gosh.
And now I am here.
And I'm Esther, and I'm not gonna say my age. Fun fact about us, we actually have 11 years and 11 months between us. I'm gonna be 24. Am I gonna be 24?
You're gonna be 23, love.
No, I'm gonna be 24. 24 or 25?
Not 25.
24?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna be 24 this year. I honestly can't remember.
She's old.
25. Yeah, 24.
Ow.
So we're just gonna start off. One of the questions that we got was how we met. So I guess we're gonna start there, and then kind of just tell you guys about our lives now. So we met
In Portland.
Yeah, so the first time we actually met was in Portland. I was going to the God Will Provide missionary school there, and I started that in 2014, the end of January in 2014. And he came to the God Will Provide rehab center in March, mid-March, and I had never seen him before. We graduated in May, and I didn't see him the whole semester, even though we went to the same church and everything. And then so it was the last weekend of school, and we had a cell group at the center, and bonfire at the center. And I saw him like setting up chairs and stuff, and then later on in the evening I had to go to the bathroom. So I went inside, and I had never been to the center before, so I went inside and he was sitting and playing the piano. And one of my friends that I was with was like, oh my gosh, who's that playing on the piano? They're so good. So we go to like look around the corner, and he's sitting there playing the piano, and I didn't pay much attention to it. I was like, hey, where's your guys' bathroom? And so he like showed me, and I remember that. I remember meeting him, but he has no recollection of that at all. Like he does not. He remembers the two girls that I walked in with. He remembers meeting them and talking to them, but he doesn't remember me.
Yeah, nope.
And then, so then I ended up going to India on a mission trip in June for 3.5 months, and I came back in September. And I was planning on moving to Portland, mainly to go to the church there. And so I was kind of like looking for like housing and stuff, trying to figure out how to like move there because I wanted to go to college. And then probably like a month goes by, and my friend tells me that they are sending a group of people to Idaho to start a rehab in a church here in Idaho. God Will Provide rehab and church. And that was the main reason I was going to Portland. So I was like, oh well, I guess I'll stick around and see if that's true or not. And then if that's not true, then I'll still move to Portland. And so then November 4th, was it November 4th? It was the first week of November. I remember my friend texting me and saying like, hey, we're going to like greet the people who are coming to start like the church and stuff. They're getting here tonight. Do you want to go to the village with us and like greet them and meet them? And I was like, not really. And then I somehow like ended up changing my mind, and so I go to the village, and lo and behold, this guy, he was the director of the center, and he brought 4 guys. So it was him and 4 other guys that came.
There was 1 helper and 3 students on the program.
3 students, yeah. So anyways, that's kind of how we like officially met, but we didn't start dating / liking each other until like, well, December. It was funny because Christmas was actually our first date, but it was not a date. But that's kind of when I started sort of liking him.
Sort of.
But I actually had like 2 other people who were interested in me, and so I wasn't really giving him a chance. But then after that date, I was just kind of like, yeah, I like you. And then January 1st, he told me he loved me, or he was falling in love with me, and then January 11th, he asked me to be his girlfriend. And then
girlfriend material.
Yeah. And then we actually were still dating, but we were on a break.
So what happened was, because our ministry was really new here and the Life Change Center needed a lot of work, and me being the director, I had to really focus on picking up the leadership and picking up the students and everything. So we said that we were going to take a break and we weren't going to talk at all. And I spoke with the senior pastor and my spiritual father in Portland, and he had advised that we take a break and we, you know, don't speak, and I just focus on ministry. So that's kind of the route that we took. And then I told Esther, she wasn't too happy, but this is what had to
Only because I had just gone through that, like, what, 8 months prior?
So she thought it was an excuse.
I was dating a guy and he did the same thing, but ended up just like not, that was just his excuse out. And literally word for word was pretty much what Russ told me. So I didn't believe him. And actually we were technically still dating, but I was just like waiting it out to see if he was telling the truth or not. But that's why I wasn't happy, not because I didn't like trust him or anything. I was just literally went through the same thing right before.
So anyways, long story short, 2 months has gone by. Ministry was doing really good. I got the green light to start dating or get more serious with courting Esther. So I pretty much very shortly after I got the green light to start going out with Esther, I was able to put some money together and buy a ring. And I ran straight, and this the first day when I bought the ring, I couldn't help myself.
That was another question we had, is how did he propose?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So another question we got was, how did he propose? So you skipped a few things, but so we started dating at the end of March. So everything with us went pretty quickly. He told me January 1st that he loved me, and then April 22nd we were already engaged. So, or that was the day that we got engaged. But yeah, we started talking at the end of March. We went on a few dates. For like 3 weeks we were kind of like dating, getting like back together, I guess you could say. And then April 22nd he proposed, and it was
She doesn't like how I proposed, but I couldn't help myself.
So I was working at the hospital, and so we were like, I knew he was gonna propose. We were talking about it. I just didn't know when. And so he had come to my work like a few times on my lunch break and stuff, and either brought me coffee or just like stopped by to say hi. And so he told me he was gonna, and I was having actually a pretty rough day that day. So he told me he was gonna stop by and bring me a coffee, and so I waited to take my lunch until he got there. And then he got there and he was with the helper of the center at that time, so I didn't think anything of it. And he was dressed pretty like casually and everything. And so then we walk over, and there's like little benches around the hospital, and it was already like spring, so everything was blooming and it was really pretty. But I thought, out of respect, that helper stood up from the bench and walked away to kind of just give us like some alone time and privacy. And I see him like kind of like walk around, and then he's kind of like standing in the distance but like further, and he's like on his phone. So I was like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden this guy reaches into like this like
the planter
with like flowers like right in the middle of it, and like pulls out this like huge box and like gets on his knee. And I honestly thought it was a joke. Like I no, I seriously thought he was joking, because I saw him get down on his knee first, and I didn't see the ring right away. And I was just like, what are you doing? Because he does stuff like weird stuff all the time. And so I didn't believe him. And so the first part of his like speech I didn't even hear because I was like in shock. And then his helper that like walked away was actually taking pictures of us. So I was in my scrubs. I was pretty stinky and smelly from my shift, and I looked
She never looked that beautiful.
Thank goodness I actually put makeup on that day, because I almost never wore makeup to work. It was probably like God telling me to put on makeup that day.
That same date that I proposed to her, that's the same date that I was able to get money for the ring, and that's the same day because I was broke. And that's the same day, as soon as I went and got money for the ring, I just left the jewelry store and stopped by Fred Meyer's, got some flowers.
No,
and straight
first
to the
him
hospital.
and that other guy went and celebrated at Red Lobster.
No, that was afterwards.
Oh, no, that's right, that's right. So he made me go back to my job and finish my shift. So that was really fun. And then him and the other guy went to celebrate at Red Lobster, and I only got told about it afterwards. And we never went out to dinner to celebrate. And then he ended up calling my mom and asking her on the phone. No, did you call her on the phone?
That was before I asked your mom's permission before I proposed.
Before
to you.
proposing.
No.
But then he told me about it after, and I like called her and I was like, why didn't you tell me? Because I was gonna like fix myself up a little bit more, but anyways. And then our wedding was September 11th, so we were engaged for like almost 6 months. So
yeah,
I forgot what other questions I had though. And then so we got engaged, we got married, and then about a month,
and then baby started coming out,
and then about a month later we got pregnant with Moses. So he was pretty quick. We had him in July, and then when he was 1, we got pregnant with Eloise, and she was born in May. So we have 2 kids.
Yeah, Mom.
Moses is 2.5. Eloise will be 9 months tomorrow.
We're gonna need a bigger car soon.
We're on the hunt for a bigger car. What else?
That's not, I'm not insinuating that we're having a 3rd baby. That's no, not yet.
So there's I remembered another question. Somebody asked us when
See how we're just flowing into the questions? Hey.
I didn't tell him any of these questions before we started because I wanted to get him like his first reaction. But somebody asked us when baby number 3 was coming.
When the Lord provides.
No. Well, that too. But it's gonna be probably like a while. We're struggling.
We wanted to have the 2 kids pretty close together so they can play with each other and stuff, and we're thinking maybe take a little break, you know, maybe a couple years.
But you never know.
But you never know.
My baby fever comes and goes every time I look at baby pictures of them. So anyways, so that was another question. So right now we're in Boise, Idaho. We go to God Will Provide Church, and my husband is a deacon there. He's a minister, and he also is newly appointed director of the center again. So when we got married, he passed that ministry on, just because it was a little bit harder with like a family and stuff. But right now he took that back upon himself, so he is doing that, and I stay home with the kids. I don't know what to say about myself.
We'll learn a lot about you as you keep doing the videos.
Yeah, well, I'm newly into YouTube, clearly. It was something, that was another question I got, is why did I decide to start a vlog channel? And I've actually been thinking about starting it probably since she was born, so about 9 months. And I was just super nervous about doing it, and I was actually really worried about like what people would think about me and that they would judge and stuff. But I prayed a lot about it, and I talked to Russ about it a lot, and I was waiting for him. Are you okay?
I'll be right back.
Pause. Yay. You're so cute. You're so cute. You're so cute. Oh no. Okay. Anyways. So yeah, somebody asked me why I decided to start a vlog. And I've always really been into taking like pictures and videos and stuff. And there's actually 3 reasons. One was I want these videos for myself, just for like memories and stuff. Can you get her pacifier? Right there on the dresser. Another reason was a lot of my family and pretty much all of his family don't live here, and so this is an easier way to keep them kind of.
Yeah, my mom's been loving it.
Yeah,
my mom has been loving the videos.
Philly still. So all of his family pretty much lives in Philadelphia, so they've actually been enjoying these videos. And 3, and it's just something that I like to do, and I feel like everyone has like a hobby, like makeup or something, and this is my hobby. I feel like I'm really good at it. I'm really passionate about it. Well, I don't know if I'm good at it, but
we'll see. No, you're really good, baby. Good job.
I feel like it's something that I could be good at and that I enjoy doing, so I like to capture all of these memories. And then I don't know, what else do you think they'd want to know about us? Oh, I have another question I remembered. So we've been married for how long? Almost 4 years.
4 years.
Somebody asked us if we ever argue. If we ever argue.
No,
ever
we
argue.
never argue.
I think that's such a silly question.
The thing is if there's a couple that's been married for any period of time, and if they tell you that they don't argue, they're lying to you.
Even if they've been married a week.
Or they're either lying to you, or they are just not being real with themselves. Because the reality is that relationships are not easy, and you have to work on them from both perspectives. From my perspective, from Esther's perspective, there are certain things that we have to do. There's certain sacrifices we have to make, and there's, you know, we have to apply and put forth effort to try to make the marriage work and be good parents and be good husbands and wives and everything. And every once in a while issues comes up, and there's disagreements, there's misunderstandings and stuff like that, but I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest with you. You know,
it keeps your marriage alive.
Esther is so amazing to live with. She's such a good mom, and she's such a good wife, and she treats me really, really good, although I know I can be really annoying sometimes. But she's really, really good to me, and she's just a whole, you know, I truly feel that
I clean up his laundry all the time.
You know, I used to live a completely different life, you know, life full of sin and full of mistakes and addictions and stuff like that. So I feel like if, you know, if I didn't change my life, if I didn't turn my life around, if I didn't allow God to just truly do his work in my life, I would have never had the family that I have now. I would have never had the wife and the kids that I have now. So I'm truly grateful for it. And you know, our kids are so cute. I'm not just saying it because they're our kids, but they truly are really, really beautiful and adorable.
You're saying that because they are our kids.
No, well, I'm a little bit partial to it, I guess, but they're really, really beautiful. And I just look at my wife and my kids and my family, and even the business now and the ministry and church and everything, I just look at it as such a big blessing from God, because you know, I'll never forget where I came from and where I've been and where God has brought us now. So it's just been a big, 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 big blessing.
And he's actually going to be recording his testimony soon with one of the brothers from our church. So when he does that, because I don't want to go in depth on like his testimony because it's also really long, but it has a lot to do with where he is now. But the reason why I don't want to like go in depth in that, because he's gonna be like sitting down and recording all of that. So when he does that, I can either post it,
we'll probably put it to the channel,
or link it. Yeah,
link it to the channel.
Link it, or I'll post it on my channel. But yeah, you're gonna make me cry. That was really sweet.
Oh.
But yes, we do argue. I feel like we argue all the time, just because it's hard to bring two people who are raised differently and just lived life differently into one house and expect them to just get along over everything. Like, I would say pick your battles, but sometimes it's hard. So we bicker all the time, but we're like, if we actually fight, we don't fight.
Yeah, we don't fight.
We'll have one, maybe like one a year, really, if it like gets to that. But usually it's
You're
like,
gonna make them think that we like fist fight or something.
no, I mean like a big exploding argument where you like sleep on the couch. We've never had one of those.
Yeah, we've never had that.
No.
No. So don't think that we're like, people argue, but yet
everyone in their marriage argues. And if you say that you don't, then you guys probably have bigger
more problems.
Yeah.
Because you can't, usually the first step to recovery is admitting that you need help. So.
Yeah. So if you guys never argue, I would check yourself. Just kidding. No, but yeah, we bicker all the time, but we love each other more. And I think we covered everything.
Eloise. Hey, mama.
Oh, it says one person, I don't know who asked us, but it says, what's one thing you guys disagree on?
What is one thing that we disagree on?
Sometimes, I guess you can...
Sometimes food?
No, I think it's like more. So I'll say what I think one of our biggest things is, and then if you agree or if you have a different one. So I think one thing, it's nothing like major, but we always disagree on something with the kids. So, for example, like with Moses, I won't give him any treats or snacks if he doesn't eat his dinner. And he will only give him treats and snacks all day long. So that's been a pretty big...
Hey, you live once.
No, he needs to eat.
Eat all the chocolate you can.
Yeah, so we're not going to get into that on camera, but we were just talking about this right before we sat down to record. But I think that he thinks there's nothing wrong with it, and I think that he needs to eat dinner before he gets a treat. So if you guys have that little disagreement with your husbands, or how do you guys go about it? Do you make sure that your kid eats dinner first or lunch and then give him a treat? Or is it okay to treat and give snacks throughout the day? Let me know in the comments below so that we can settle this once and for all. Okay, do you agree or disagree?
I agree with that one. She doesn't like to be adventurous with food at all. She has her, like,
but we don't disagree on that.
Her genre of foods that she likes, and she will not try, for the most part, nothing raw. Like, I love trying. I'll pretty much try anything twice. Even, you know, I love Thai food.
Except for anything like oatmeal. He hates oatmeal.
Thai food, seafood, anything like that. Anything
by the
weird
way,
or interesting, I would love to eat, and she won't.
One thing that I was gonna mention about us is that we are Ukrainian. I'm Ukrainian / Russian, and he's Ukrainian, and we speak Ukrainian, and our kids speak Ukrainian, so that's our first language. So
well, they don't speak Ukrainian. Moses is starting to speak Ukrainian,
but
he knows
like that's
Ukrainian.
their first language.
Yeah, that's our first language at home.
And so if you guys ever hear me talking in Russian or something on the vlog and you just don't understand, that's what we're speaking. But in the Ukrainian heritage, at least in my family, I grew up on a lot of like milk foods, like kasha. I don't know.
Like dairy
how do you
stuff.
say kasha?
It's like oatmeals and
like an oatmeal type of thing, but based with milk. So like, I don't even know how to, like, basically my mom would make
like a manka.
Manka, yeah, I don't know how to say that.
I don't know. It's like this white, thick kasha.
It's like
and you can add
porridge
sugar to it.
Is that what it is? Porridge?
Maybe.
Anyway, stuff like that. Anything milk based that has to be like cooked on a stove, he will not even like eat. So if he says he'll eat anything, he won't eat that.
I already had that more than twice. I said I'll eat anything twice.
You did not have that more than twice. Anyway, she's getting cranky, so we should.
Thank you guys.
Wait.
Subscribe. Is that what I'm supposed to say now?
No, there's
Subscribe?
2 more questions, but I guess we'll just do one. Do you want to do that one?
Sure.
I only wrote down a few, but one other question was, how many kids do you guys want?
Depends how these go.
When we first got married, or even before we got married, we talked about it and we wanted 4.
Cuatro.
2 and 2. So they're close in age. We're gonna take like a little break, and then we'll probably have 2 more close in age.
And then we'll see how everything else goes.
But honestly, I have my hands full with 2 for now. But we had them back to back. So yeah. For now, I think I'm okay. But we'll see. It's all up to God. If he decides to give us another blessing, we won't be mad. But that's our plans for now.
This is our cue. Eloise.
You need a nap. You need a nap.
That's our cue to go.
Anyways,
hope you enjoy the video.
Yeah.
And do a little dance for him.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope this is what you guys wanted to see. And if we didn't answer a question or there's something else you still want to know about us, just ask us or let us know in the comments below. And maybe in like one of the future vlogs we'll answer it if it's something that we haven't answered already.
Yep.
See ya. Thanks for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you like this video. Give us a thumbs up if you think this baby's so cute. He's so cute. Give us a thumbs up. You got lipstick on your cheek. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you want to be posted on when our videos go live, make sure you click that bell notification and you guys will be notified the second my videos go live. So thanks for watching.
Strikes by my window, hits my chest right